Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Triple Double Nation. Today we'll be covering the top NBA legends in history. Let's get into the video. Julius Erving. Selected as an all-star in all 16 of his professional seasons, Dr. J was arguably the greatest star in ABA history before the merger. After that happened in 1976, he continued to amaze in the NBA as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. He averaged 24.2 points and 8.5 rebounds per game for his career and ranked 17th all-time in steals per game for his combined ABA and NBA career. You get a true sense of how special Erving was compared to the players of his era when you realize he was named to 12 All-League teams, which puts him in the third place tie for the most such honors in history. Oscar Robertson. A guard who was truly ahead of his time when it came to doing it all for his team, Oscar Robertson was the original prototype of a Russell Westbrook or James Harden type player. Robertson was the first player in NBA history to average a triple-double for an entire offseason, and his 181 career triple-doubles are 43 more than the player with the second highest number. The Big O ranks in the all-time top 10 for points per game and assists per game, while his average of 7.5 rebounds per game is also nothing to take lightly. Jerry West. Jerry West was so undeniably good that he was voted the MVP of the 1969 NBA Finals, despite being on the losing team. He's the only player in history to accomplish that feat. Somehow he only won a single championship despite leading 9 different Los Angeles Lakers teams to the NBA Finals. West's career scoring average of 27 points per game is the 5th best in history, with his 14 All-Star game selections tied with him with players like Michael Jordan and Karl Malone. Kevin Durant. Love him or hate him, Kevin Durant makes a strong case as the best scorer of his generation, which includes guys like Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry. He's averaged better than 27 points per game in his career thus far, making him one of the only 6 guys to ever hit that mark. Toss in the fact that he's also averaged 7.1 rebounds per game and you'll understand why he's 12th all-time in win shares per 48 minutes. Durant takes some flack for joining the already great Golden State Warriors after he failed to beat them with his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. But he was an instrumental part of that team's most recent 2 championships before splitting for Brooklyn. David Robinson. Of all the stats on an NBA box score, blocks are probably the toughest to come by, unless you're David Robinson. The Admiral had a career mark of 2.99 blocks per game, which is good enough for the 4th best in history. Couple that with his 21.1 points and 10.6 rebounds per game, and you'll understand why the San Antonio Spurs made the All-NBA team 10 times. Robinson was also a beast in terms of advanced metrics, ranking in the top 5 for career box plus minus. His mark in the measurement of win shares per 48 minutes is second all time, just barely behind Michael Jordan. Chris Paul. The best point guard of his generation and possibly the best ever, CP3 has proven to be as good at providing scoring opportunities for his teammates as he is at taking them for himself. A massive part of every team he's ever been on, Chris Paul currently sits in the top 10 in career plus minus and win shares per 48 minutes. For that latter stat, he sits at 4th in history, behind only Michael Jordan, David Robinson, and Wilt Chamberlain. His career average of 9.53 assists per game is 3rd all-time, and his 2.21 steals per game ranks him 6th in NBA history. He's a surefire first-ballot Hall of Famer when his time comes. Hakeem Olajuwon. The dream was about as dominant as any big man has ever been, proving he could score, rebound, and block shots with the best to ever play the game. He put together career averages of 21.8 points, 11.1 rebounds, and 3.09 blocks per game. The latter of which is the best mark among all Hall of Famers. Hakeem Olajuwon ranks 14th all-time in value over replacement and is 10th for that category when it comes to playoff games. It's easy to see why he is selected for both the All-Star game and the NBA squad a dozen of times while the Houston Rockets had him as a player. Tim Duncan. He might not have been the flashiest player of this day, but the big fundamental was a nearly unstoppable winner in the first part of the 2000s, leading the San Antonio Spurs to 5 championships. He averaged a double-double for his career, landing him ridiculous 15 selections on the All-NBA squad, which ties him for the most in history. Tim Duncan also ranks 6th in value over replacement player and 3rd when you're just looking at playoff games, showing how paramount he was to those punishing Spurs teams. Shaquille O'Neal. One of the last truly dominant centers in an era of NBA play that's since become dated, Shaquille O'Neal was a key part of 4 different championship teams during his career. Sinking more than 58% of his career field goals attempted, O'Neal has the 6th best shooting percentage in NBA history, and the 2nd best such mark among retired players. Another stat that might shock you is that O'Neal averaged more points per game than Steph Curry, contributing 23.7 points on any given night, virtually all of which came inside the paint. Bob Pettit. He had a relatively short NBA career with the Milwaukee/St. Louis Hawks, but Bob Pettit certainly made the most of it. He was named an All-Star and All-NBA selection in all 11 seasons of his career, including 10 first-team All-NBA selections, which is the same number Michael Jordan earned. Pettit's career numbers are truly staggering, with him averaging 26.4 points and 16.2 rebounds per game. This ranks him inside the top 10 all-time in both categories. Pettit was also the first player to ever be named NBA MVP, an honor he would win twice. Charles Barkley. Averaging a career double-double of 22.1 points and 11.7 rebounds per game is the first thing that jumps out about Charles Barkley's career in Philadelphia, Phoenix, and Houston. But when you look at his ranking in advanced statistics, you really see how special he was. Barkley sits at 5th in value over replacement player. When it comes to career box plus minus, he ranks only behind Michael Jordan and LeBron James, revealing his overall dominance. The fact that he never got to win an NBA championship is one of the game's truest travesties. Karl Malone. A defender's nightmare in his NBA heyday, Karl Malone put up 25 points and 10.1 rebounds per game for his entire career, which lasted nearly 20 years, and somehow never resulted in a championship. There was a stretch from 1988 and 1993 with the Jazz in which the mailman averaged nearly 29 points and more than 11 rebounds per game, but he wouldn't earn his 2 NBA MVP awards until after that. Malone's place in the advanced metric of value over replacement player is 3rd all-time, sitting right behind Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Elgin Baylor. One of the game's first all-around stars, Elgin Baylor might have also had the worst luck in NBA history, never winning a championship despite helping lead the Lakers to 8 NBA Finals appearances in his 14 seasons on the court. Baylor was a beast, averaging 27.4 points and 13.5 rebounds per game for his career. That scoring average ranks him 3rd all-time, ahead of even LeBron James, and his rebounding average is 11th best, even ahead of Dennis Rodman. Baylor was named to the All-NBA squad 10 times, being a first-team selection every time. He also put up at least 50 points in 17 different games, which is 5th most all-time. And Kobe Bryant. A winner of 5 NBA championships with the Lakers, Kobe Bryant proved this time and time again why he was one of the most feared competitors in basketball history. Black Mamba is tied for 1st all-time with 15 All-NBA selections, and his 25 career 50-point games rank him 3rd all-time, behind only Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. Speaking on that number, Bryant also had averaged 25 points per game for his career, which puts him at 12th all-time. Larry Bird. Larry Bird was about as deadly a shooter as there's ever been, proving instrumental to the Boston Celtics teams that he had led to 3 NBA championships and 5 NBA Finals appearances in the 1980s. Larry Legend held down averages of 24.3 points, 10 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game in his career, figures which helped him put together 59 career triple-doubles. That's the 7th most all-time. Bird also sits in the top 10 for career box plus minus in both the regular season and playoffs. LeBron James, 2004 through present. In a generation of prolific production, LeBron James stands apart as the best and is one of the game's all-time greats. You can stand in awe of his career stat line of 27.11 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game. The fact that he led his Cleveland Cavaliers and Miami Heat teams to 8 consecutive NBA Finals, winning 3 championships, is also nearly unfathomable in an age where elite talent is spread across the league. Michael Jordan, 1985 through 2003. Michael Jordan and LeBron James are neck and neck at the top of many advanced stat measures in NBA history, but Jordan gets the nod because of his undefeated run and 6 NBA Finals appearances and his unmatched offensive production. That's going to do it for our video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you next time. So long.